video, a concrete conservatory base was broken up at my neighbour's house using a Hilti concrete breaker. That resulted in there being about 15 tonnes of rubble that needed removing. To be honest, I'd rather move rubble than sit at a computer and edit 10 hours of video footage into this short video, which is what I'm doing now. Because of the design of the house and the close proximity of the garage, there is no way that anything mechanical can be used to do this job. However, you can hire mini dumpers which make moving the rubble much easier. The rubble is at the back of the house and the skip is at the front of the house. It's about 20 metres from the rubble to the skip, and as you can see the driveway is quite steep where it meets the road. Of course, all of the men doing the job had to have a go at driving it. Obviously, if you tried moving all this rubble using a wheelbarrow, you would soon be out of breath. If you're wondering how much a 8-yard skip costs where I live, it's roughly £240 plus VAT. Luckily, HSS hire out these mini dumpers or muck trucks, and one of these can safely carry 250 kilograms at a time. The muck truck is petrol powered and is 4-wheel drive and will make the job much easier. My neighbour hired the mini dumper for a day in order to do this job. Before we first use it, we're going to release the bucket. We're just going to tip that up. And that enables us to check the fuel. This actually takes unleaded petrol. So we're just going to top that up a little bit. So I'm going to use a funnel. And then I'm just going to pour the petrol in there. The tank on this doesn't hold a massive amount of petrol, so don't try putting too much in it, or else you'll have it all over the place. And finally, we're just going to check the oil, but the level on that is absolutely fine. The muck truck can be used in gardens and most types of terrain. It can also be tipped up to empty it by squeezing the tipping lever with your right hand, then lifting the handles to tip the bucket. Obviously, more hands make light work, and so there are 6 of us moving the rubble. The larger stones can be loaded by hand, but the smaller stones and sand will be placed in buckets so that they can be moved and transported to the skip. It's a good idea to check the petrol level in the muck truck after stopping for a break. I have to say that the engine on these are bulletproof and it starts very easily indeed. When filling a skip, it's best if you can get the rubble in neatly, that way you can maximise the amount of rubble in the skip. If you just tip the rubble in randomly, you could waste a lot of space. You might think that you can pile up the rubble, but this skip has a definite fill line on it, so fill above that line at your own risk. All the larger stones are being saved for a local farmer who will collect the pieces in a couple of days. For now, the majority of the rubble has been removed, which took about 7 hours. Before we send this back, I'm going to give it a wash down and a clean before checking the oil level and the tyre pressure again. I hope you found this video useful. If you have and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel.